China has quietly become the global frontrunner in thorium molten salt reactor development, a promising nuclear technology offering safer, cleaner, and more sustainable power. This video explores how China took the lead and what it means for the energy landscape. Before we proceed to the video, don't forget to hit the like button and ring the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming videos. Why thorium matters. Thorium-232, naturally occurring and 3 to 4 times more abundant than uranium, holds immense promise for nuclear energy. Unlike traditional light water reactors, thorium reactors can operate without high-pressure water, produce minimal, long-lived radioactive waste, and include inherent safety features based on physics rather than emergency systems. China's strategic pivot toward thorium began around 2011 with the government-funded Thorium Molten Salt Reactor program under the Shanghai Institute of Applied Physics. The goal, to design a reactor that generates heat and electricity at high temperatures while prioritizing safety, waste reduction, and long-term sustainability. Historical roots and global context. The molten salt reactor concept first emerged in the 1950s as part of the U.S. molten salt reactor experiment at Oak Ridge National Laboratory. Between 1965 and 1969, the MSRE demonstrated that a liquid fuel reactor could work, but it faced frequent shutdowns, corrosion issues, and engineering hurdles. These lessons were largely set aside for other nuclear paths, but later revived in countries like India and Norway. China adopted and expanded on them, investing in corrosion-resistant materials, high-temperature chemistry, and fuel breeding based on thorium-232 to protactinium-233 to uranium-233. Today, China leads the TMSR effort globally, with a roadmap for increasingly larger reactors, from the 2-megawatt prototype to 10 megawatt and beyond. TMSR LF1, China's breakthrough prototype. The TMSR LF1, a 2-megawatt liquid fuel experimental reactor in Wuwei, Gansu Province, achieved several significant milestones. Construction began in 2018, regulatory approval was granted in early 2020. Criticality was reached on October 11, 2023, and full thermal power, 2 megawatts, by June 17, 2024. It ran continuously with thorium-bearing FLIBE salt for 10 days in October 2024, confirming successful breeding of protactinium-233, a key step in generating uranium-233 fuel. In early 2025, the team achieved online fuel processing and refueling, allowing for continuous operation without shutdown, a world first. These achievements marked the first operational thorium molten salt reactor since the MSRE and demonstrated critical capabilities for scale-up: high-temperature operation without water, salt chemistry control, and safety via passive mechanisms. Technological innovations and engineering advances. Key technical advances underpinning China's success include salt-based cooling and high-temperature operation. The use of fluoride salt mixtures, FLIBE, enables unpressurized operation at temperatures beyond 650 degrees Celsius. This supports cogeneration use cases such as hydrogen production and industrial processes. Materials breakthroughs. Dealing with corrosive, hot radioactive salts requires advanced alloys. China developed corrosion-resistant materials such as Nemo-Si-C and Hastalloy-N, and tested them for longevity. Online refueling and salt processing. The LF1's automated removal of gaseous fission products and insertion of fresh fuel salts represents a major innovation in continuous reactor operation. Passive safety by design. The LF1 utilizes a freeze plug that melts in an emergency, allowing salt drainage into a safe, subcritical container, providing a passive shutdown method without mechanical systems. Waste management plans. Recognizing their remoteness, China is preparing geological disposal facilities in the Gobi Desert for long-term waste containment. These breakthroughs reflect comprehensive progress across materials, science, reactor design, and nuclear chemistry. Scaling up, LF2, LF3, and commercial vision. China's next steps are clearly defined. TMSR, LF2, a planned 10-megawatt thermal pilot reactor with construction slated for 2025 and operation by 2030. TMSR LF3, a 100-megawatt thermal demonstrator expected by 2030-2035. Commercial rollout anticipated in the late 2030s, with larger-scale units developing through the 2040s. The planned commercial plant in the Gobi Desert, 60 megawatts heat, 10 megawatts electric with hydrogen, is set to begin construction in 2025 with full operation by 2030. Larger-scale deployments are expected to follow, positioning China to lead the next phase of nuclear innovation. Strategic rationale and energy security. China's aggressive push into thorium MSRs aligns with several national priorities: energy and environmental strategy. China needs massive clean energy to meet its 2060 carbon neutrality goal. Coal still dominates approximately 60% of electricity, and fossil fuel dependency carries environmental and geopolitical risks. High-temperature thorium reactors offer clean baseload power and process heat for hydrogen and desalination, complementing intermittent renewables like solar and wind. Thorium abundance and national advantage. China's thorium reserves ensure energy independence, reserves that could fuel reactors for thousands of years. Centralized funding enables long-term projects. Unlike democracies subject to election cycles, China can fund decade-long research projects without interruption, a key advantage in long-gestation technologies. Export potential. China plans to integrate thorium MSRs into its Belt and Road Initiative, offering modular reactors, hydrogen, and desalination systems to partner nations. There's interest in maritime and even space applications. Risks, challenges, and criticisms. Despite the advances, thorium MSRs still face unresolved challenges. Proliferation concerns. Though uranium-233 is bred in situ, it can be weapons-grade if separated. However, the presence of uranium-232, with strong gamma radiation, complicates weaponization. Materials, degradation. Long-term exposure to corrosive salts and radiation could damage structural components, even with advanced alloys. Waste complexity. While less long-lived than uranium waste, thorium reactors generate complex fission byproducts. Their disposal in geological sites remains a developing field. Regulatory and economic hurdles. Without a mature licensing framework and with major upfront capital needs, thorium MSRs may face cost barriers and public skepticism. Skeptical voices. Critics point out that earlier MSR projects had frequent failures and remain unproven at scale. Technical complexity and cost may outweigh benefits compared to renewables and conventional nuclear. Global competition and Chinese leadership. China stands apart globally. No other country operates a thorium MSR today. India, with the largest thorium reserves, has yet to build a working prototype. Meanwhile, private efforts in the U.S., TerraPower, Kairos, etc., focus more on uranium-based advanced reactors. The International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, recognizes MSR's potential for sustainable uranium use and low waste, but notes that safety and proliferation must be managed. China's progress, demonstrating breeding, refueling, and power generation, places it firmly ahead. The 2025 Gobi plant will transform a prototype program into a commercial reality, setting international standards. Implications for the world. China's achievements send three clear signals. 1. Nuclear renaissance rebooted. Advanced nuclear, especially thorium-based, can move from lab to power grid. 2. Export of its innovation. By deploying modular TMSRs abroad, China could gain political influence via energy technology. 3. Pressure on renewables. As clean baseload nuclear becomes viable, countries rethinking their energy mix may need to reassess reliance on intermittent renewables. Other nations, India, Australia, Canada, European governments, must choose whether to collaborate, compete, or pivot back to uranium reactor upgrades. China's Thorium MSR program, spanning from the 2-megawatt thermal LF1 prototype to plans for commercial 10 to 100 megawatt reactors, embodies a bold, long-term commitment to redefining nuclear energy. By solving technical hurdles around salt chemistry, structural materials, fuel breeding, and safety, China has positioned itself well ahead of global peers. Whether thorium reactors become a cornerstone of the post-carbon world depends on their ability to overcome commercialization, cost, regulatory, and public perception hurdles. If China's roadmap unfolds as planned, thorium molten salt reactors may not just be an alternative, they could become a global standard. If you enjoyed what you saw, don't forget to hit the like button and ring the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming videos. Your support means a lot to us. Take care until the next one, and feel free to drop a comment sharing your thoughts. See you soon.